What's good, YouTube? LTTV Combat Sports Talk. And I'm going to get straight to it. Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou, that fight was talked about a lot. And they were in negotiations. But unfortunately, the fight never materialized. Francis Ngannou, he ended up leaving the UFC due to contract disputes. And Jon Jones, he had this to say. He states the following: I don't think I deserve any criticism. Jones said, I'm here. Francis had the opportunity to face me, and he opted out of the opportunity. If anyone should be criticized, it's Francis Ngannou. If I'm correct, he was offered the biggest contract in heavyweight history. He had the opportunity to be the guy to dethrone me. He didn't believe in himself. Francis didn't believe in himself. He wasn't willing to gamble on himself. End quote. Now, me personally, I kind of don't believe this. I think it's a little bit, how should I say, incorrect. Because Francis, he wanted the opportunity to do MMA but box at the same time, simultaneously. That's when the negotiations between the UFC and Francis Ngannou fell apart. And I think the UFC, I think they made a mistake by not wanting to pay him. Because when you have a guy like that, who is very talented, who gave the UFC fight fans action-packed fights and knockouts while he was in that organization, you had somebody like that on your roster, and he was your heavyweight champion. You probably should have done right by him, to be honest. But the UFC, they felt that he wasn't worthy of the big dollars. And honestly, I just feel like the UFC, they made a huge mistake. And one way or another, it may bite them at some point, because Francis, he is deserving, and his body of work inside the UFC octagon, it showed that he's worthy. While the UFC couldn't see his worth, I really couldn't tell you, because it makes no sense to me why he's still not with the UFC right now. And honestly, I still can't wrap my head around it. I mean, it's a business, truth be told, but the UFC, they just dropped the ball heavily on this one. And I really was looking forward to seeing Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou fight. I really was looking forward to that fight, because that would have did numbers in pay-per-view buys for sure. That fight would have been fireworks. But unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see that fight come to fruition in the future ever. Jon Jones, he kind of had a change of heart. He states the following via his Twitter: I found an interview of Francis talking about he'll forever be the undisputed champion because no one beat him. Once I saw that, my tune changed. I thought I would tell how I really felt. He did make the right decision. He left before I came back. Smart move. End quote. I mean, it's cool that Jon kind of realized that Francis made the right decision for himself. It had nothing to do with not believing in himself, because Francis seems like the type of guy that has a lot of belief within himself. From where he came from in his native country, come all the way to America to fight in the UFC and became champion. Like, that's a man that has a lot of belief within himself just based off that alone. So it was never lack of self-belief, because had that fight actually happened, Ngannou, he would have gave Jon Jones a run for his money. That's for damn sure. So my honest opinion, that fight, it could have gone either way. But I feel like Ngannou, he would have been the heavy favorite just because of the knockout power that he possesses. And Jon Jones, he would have been a big underdog in that fight. But like I stated before, we'll never see that fight materialize in a UFC octagon ever. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality that a lot of MMA fans will have to accept. I don't like it, but that's just the way it is. And I want to get you guys' thoughts on the whole Francis Ngannou situation. Do you think that Francis made the right decision in leaving the UFC? Do you think that Jon Jones would have lost to Ngannou had the fight actually happened? And where do you see Ngannou ending up? Do you see him fighting in the PFL, in Bellator? Those are just my questions to you, the people, who may end up coming across this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment sections down below. And that's going to conclude this video. If you liked and enjoyed it, hit that like, that sub button, hit that bell, and click all, so you never miss any of my videos and you receive all of my notifications. I'm LTTV Combat Sports Talk. I'm out here. Peace.